live.
Hello, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Love and Pain podcast, where the Love Doctor and I talk about love, relationships, and everything in between. I'm your resident single lady advisor, Pain, who is an experienced single lady on a quest for balance. And this is the Love Doctor. Take it away, Chet.
What's happening, y'all? Yes, I once did not believe that it could happen to me. Through all the lies, all the deceit, all the games, I was damaged because my eyes were blinded to what was right in front of me. Through all the different experiences that I went through, I had seen women that could have been wifey material, but because of all the treachery that I had seen, I was programmed to not accept the women that were good women, because I was tended to think all women were the same. And I think that women think the same thing too about men, that all men are going to dog them and this and that. It's just like when white folks go into a bad neighborhood, they think every black person there is going to rob them. I mean, you can get robbed, but everybody's not there to rob you. It's actually a small percentage of those that are grimy, that will take advantage of you. So if you already have this misconception and you have this prejudice about everybody that, they're going to do damage to you, then you'll never find anything with any type of relationship that'll be fruitful. So yeah, we have to just deprogram our minds, and we just have to look out for the signs that, hey, our topic today, we're going to cover a lot of things. So y'all just tune this out. And it's funny because there was a guy who owned the Dallas Mavericks. He said that any black person he seen with a hoodie, he was scared of. So he was already programmed to think that everybody was bad. And that's what we think about with each other, because all women aren't hoes, all men aren't dogs. We got to come off that. And like I said, we're coming from the perspective of, we're not coming from a Hollywood perspective. We're coming from a rank and file perspective. We've been through different things with different people, and we have experiences that we're going to share with you guys, and y'all got to take note of this, because we done been through the thing, like I said. And like I said, I'm happily married now. I never thought it could happen to me, and I'm just proud to say, hey, that I'm faithful and I got my mind right.
Wow. Well, if he can change, so can any of you guys out there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all the new content we release. Chuck, where are we at with the YouTube?
Well, see, last week I actually was in Columbus, so I couldn't post anything on my YouTube channel. I mean, I did post a little something, but I wasn't active on the YouTube page. So we still around 700 subscribers. But we're going to get it. We going to get it. Like I said, I'm back in the flow, back in Vegas. And I'm telling you, man, I was telling you before, the whole time I was in Columbus, I didn't see not one sun ray come through. So, it was like, man.
it was a little dreary right here. So you kind of got to make your own sunlight. You came at the wrong time. You should have came that Monday through Wednesday. That's when it was really popping.
I heard that. Well, it wasn't popping when I was there.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm sorry. But so far, I did look at one thing. You did post up the Club Shay Shay on there.
Mm-hmm.
That was you, right? I looked at it and I was like, look at him out here just stirring it up. So proud of him.
Man, please. You need to be ashamed wearing an outfit with that purse. Stop playing.
Come on now. He's up in the gym. He's just trying to show he's up in the gym grinding. Well, speaking of which, so you were in Ohio. Tell me about your weekend. How did it go?
Oh, I actually had a great weekend. Shout out to my my oldest daughter. She just turned 30 years old. So we had a gathering for her, and it was nice. It was good to see them get together. One of her Spelman sisters, like I said, she graduated from Spelman. She came up and they did like a little sister circle, and it was very inspiring just to see young women with the class and intelligence and supporting each other. And that's good. Because, people need support at times, and, just keep them on the right track and things like that. Because like I said, I mean, talking to some of these females out here, man, a lot of these females out here are busted, man. Like, I mean, went through the woo. I mean, look,
What do you mean
I'm talking about
busted?
life has just. I'm telling you, just being around certain older women, like their life has been hard for them, man. Like they're like the emotional side, the emotional damage that has happened. I mean, it has really taken a toll on some of these women. I mean, of course, it does in men in certain ways, but I actually see it like on the surface level with women when I talk to them, how damaged they are. Like, man, it's like, whoa, man, this is like, because it's a survival thing. You're not going to be receptive to anything that has hurt you before. Just like when you have scabs on your skin, it's not going to be as easy to cut. So it's the same thing with your heart and your emotions. I mean, I've seen people that just, man, they going through some rough times out here, man. So it's just, I feel bad, like, for some of these women that are going through these changes, and then, that just didn't have anybody to support them. They had to just go through life on their own, trying to survive. And, man, I just feel sorry for that.
Yeah, it's I've seen some women like that. That's not my experience, but yeah, there are women like that. My niece, she's trying to find her way in life. I'm like, let me go ahead and help you. I don't want you to be weird out here. And she watches like straight up trash TV. So I'm like, okay, first of all, we gotta stop doing that. But she watches this and like on one hand, it's like, okay, Black people, I love that we're creating our own media. I love that. But like they're putting nothing but trash on here, like tons and tons of trash. So it's this app called Now That's TV, and all it is Black men and Black women just fighting each other. Like, you might as well put on gloves and a gear and get into a ring if you want. I will watch that. Just say you want to box. I'm down with that. But as soon as they cough, they just start fighting. And these women, they're like 22, 23, but they look so old. And I was like, no, they're not 22. No way. They look older than me. And, I'm nowhere near 22. So it is a lot of that going on out there. But this weekend, because we're talking about support, good support. I've been really in my fitness bag, staying, getting in shape, trying to turn back the hands of time. My cosmetologist, she's Asian, and she's like, when you get her age, you want to put on weight and make sure you look younger. But when you're younger, you need to lose weight to make you look younger. And so I've just been into it, lost me a shirt size and a pant size, feeling good. The energy was great, right? And we just been walking. So we went for a hike in High Banks here in Columbus. It was snowing, and the Black in me was like, nah, we ain't doing this. But like I said, I'm leaning right now. And she was like, nah, girl, let's go out here and hike. And it wasn't like a snowstorm where it was sticking and you're going to get lost. It was just like, I guess you call it, I don't know, what is sleet? Either Jack, he probably got. Well, do you guys know what sleet is? Is sleet like is it like I don't know, what is it? Is it heavy? Hey, Chuck. Oh, see, I was keeping it going.
But no, I wasn't off. I just highlighted you real quick.
Oh, did you? That you're so kind. So it was fun. It was really, really fun. I had a really good active weekend. My friend says rain and snow. Okay, so that's not what it was, but it was nice. So I'm all about right now fitness, changing, new moon, getting into this new age of my life. My birthday is this week, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, Chuck. I'm feeling real good. Yeah. So in news, what's going on? We're still following the Fannie situation? What's happening in the news?
Yeah, nothing's really going on there. They're just waiting on the judgment to come through. I haven't really been on the wire as much this week, like I said, because I was out of town. I was nonstop when I was in Columbus. To those of you that I didn't get a chance to holler at, I have to catch y'all next time. But I had to take care of a lot of business.
He lying, y'all.
Right, whatever. but no, the only thing that I'm seeing, like I've seen that Erykah Badu thing where she damn near 50 and she busting down half naked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
when you've had guys, as many guys as she has, I think for older women, and I don't think we pay attention to older women enough. Older women just be cool on relationships, especially if they are a widow, especially if they've been divorced. They're just like, you know what? I'm just here for me. I don't care about nobody else. And I mean, I think older women also, men start dying off at that age. You don't have as many men. I mean, Black Rob, DMX, these are guys who are early 50s, late 40s, just dying away. So I think at that point they're just like, fuck it, I'm just I'm just gonna be out here just doing me. So I don't know. But so in the true crime, did you hear about a young lady? Her name was Mahogany Jackson. And she sent her mom a text like early morning. It was like, hey, send the police, don't tell nobody. And no one saw it. And it was like a group of 10 people beat her, sodomized her, and then shot her. 10 people in the hood. Yes, 10 men and women. It was crazy. Yes. The dudes obviously raped her, but the chicks wanted to fight her, and it was all because of a man. She was talking to somebody's. Man, I wish. I had one call years ago where this chick was like, "You talking to my man?" And I didn't have a lot of guys I was talking to, so I knew it only could be him. I blocked him, never talked to him ever again. Even if it wasn't him, I never had that issue until I met him. It was a done deal. It was a flag for me, which brings us to today's topic, right? Red flags.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it, y'all. This is very important. The subject that we're going to get into today, the topic, because like I've been telling y'all before, you always have to pay attention to the beginning. People will reveal themselves, but sometimes we're blinded by infatuation, so we don't pay attention to it, and we just don't look at the signs of red flags in a relationship. Now, some of these topics that we're going to go through may be some things that you may need. They may be red flags to some, but they may be totally acceptable to other people, because sometimes some people need certain things that the other person may have, and it may actually help them. But, for the most part, like I said, we're going to get into, the main topics. We're not going to be able to go through everything today, but we're going to get into the main topics and the most important topics I think that we should listen to.
Right.
Okay. Number one, you want to go back and forth, or you want me to just go ahead and do it?
You start first, because I love to see where your mind goes. Okay. So let's start with you and throw that back to me.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, the first red flag that I think that we should look at is somebody just got out of a relationship. Because sometimes you could be dealing with someone who is a hopeless romantic, and they're just looking from one source of energy to the next. They they like Tarzan, they just flying. Before they let go of this one, they on to another one. And that normally happens when when people like I said, they don't want to be alone, or they just looking for love. It's not you, it's a behavior, and it's actually not a feeling at all. It's a behavior. So some people get into I'm telling you, they get into relationships with this emptiness and things like that because they don't want to be alone, and a lot of times they haven't gotten over the person that they just broke up with. So I always tell people, hey, after you're in a relationship, take a little bit of time. Let that chapter end before you start a new relationship, so you can so you can go into a relationship without all these feelings that haven't been weeded out, and you could just go in fresh with no baggage. So just take your time in between one relationship to the other. And then, like I said, sometimes if you switch so fast, then you won't, you'll overlook things about the next person because you're trying to rush to get into a relationship, and and you're going into it already, it's already dysfunctional from the beginning. So please don't rush right from one relationship to another. That's a red flag to me, because like I said, and I always said, and my dad always told me too, if somebody can fall for you that easy, they can leave that easy too. You know what I'm saying? Because their feelings are fleeting, very fleeting. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's one of the red flags that we start off with, but we got a lot of them to go through. How you feel about it?
No, I agree. When I was younger, my son called it monkey branching, says Trinette. that's a good one. Like you get your own monkey ass away from it. I got you. Yeah.
Right. Vine to vine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I was younger, for me, I always felt like it took me a while to get into a relationship. Like if you look at my relationship, we're talking about years before I get into a next one. But I would see like friends, male and female, and they would have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And I was like, how do y'all do that? Like, what is it about me that's, that I can't get into relationships like this? But then you also look at what is it about them that they can't stay by themselves for just a little bit? They haven't even let the other relationship cool down before they jump into someone else's relationship. So
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree. And when I started dating, and I was just dating for fun, just to get used to it, I met a guy, and he was like, I just got divorced 2 months ago. I was like, oh, he ain't serious. I already knew. Like, you've been married, you're out here looking for strange. You ain't serious. But I also wasn't serious either. So it
Right.
ended up
Right.
being a really good friend. That's what she said. That's what I'd be thinking. I know, right? So I do agree with that red flag. A red flag to me is their, like, how they treat people. Some people are just like, I don't care how you treat other people, just be good to me. But here's the thing, right? They're being good to you for a moment because they like you, and they're nice, and they want something from you from the moment. But as soon as they're not wanting something from you, or they're not enamored with you, they're going to treat you like they treat other people. So I watch how you treat service members, people like waiters and staff. Are you shitty to them? Are you shitty to the people around you? There are some people who treat their significant others the nicest, but they're so rude to other people. And that, to me, is, especially if it's unwarranted. Like, if this person didn't do anything to you, but you're just an asshole to them, I don't like that. That's a flag to me, man. I feel like everyone deserves at least basic respect. And what's going to happen when you're not enamored with me? How are you going to treat me on that day?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Go ahead. Your
So
volley.
that's true, because people you got to watch that too, because people, like, when people can do nothing for them, or they're not a part of their agenda, then that's how you
Yeah.
tell the real person that it is that they're a nice spirit or whatever. But that may not necessarily be a deal breaker. If that's the only thing that's wrong with them, that they treat other people bad but they treat you good. I mean, if you guys, if it's a long-term relationship, then that might actually be a plus, because sometimes the reason why I say that is, like, say I'm a mean person, but I treat you well, and then, but the exes that I used to try to talk to me, but I'm mean to them. So that's good. So I'm just focused on that person that I'm with, and don't nobody else get this special treatment but you. Not to say that you should be dogging people, but if you act a little different towards other people, you might be indifferent or whatever, but you're taking care of the person that you're with. I mean, that could actually be, that's not a deal breaker for me necessarily, if they're a good person. Because some people, like, just like my grandfather, like, for instance, I mean, he was just a mean dude, like, but he went to work every day. He took care of the crib. And, I mean, he was loyal, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he had good qualities, but again, he was just a mean guy. And some people are, and they might just cherish, just that person that they're with. So, yeah, just don't take them around nobody.
See, my dad is a mean dude, but he's not mean to people. But if he needs to be, he could bring it out. But he's not. But you're not gonna get over on him. So like that. Someone said, "I'm sorry. I'd rather for my man to be like that instead of grind." I smile on everyone's face. I can't imagine me changing who I am just because I'm in a relationship. Like, oh, a dude comes around and I gotta be angry. I would be laughing at myself trying to pretend like I'm a mad person. And some women like that. Some women like that. For me, I'm not. Like, just be a nice person. Be a good person. Because if he's good, if it's in him, it's always gonna be in him. Because then when people get divorced and everything, they're like, I never thought he was gonna be like that. Bitch, he was mean to everybody. What do you mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna get if y'all break up, you're gonna get that flip side. Don't get it twisted. You come out, that person will come out if you're not a part of their agenda. But I'm just saying, if this is a long-term commitment, then that's not necessarily a bad thing if he's committed, or she is committed to you for a long-term commitment, but yeah, if it goes bad, it's gonna go bad, and he gonna treat you, or she gonna treat you just like they were treating all these other people. So yeah, I get you on that. I've had a couple of those, I really have, and I knew it. I was like, damn, I I already knew. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm like I said, I'm friends. I'm probably for guys who I no longer date, but they were cool. Those are the ones that I'm cool with. Guys who are just shitty to everyone, they were shitty. I'm not cool with them. So it was just like, okay, but go ahead. Next flag. So someone said, Red flag when a guy can sit and pillow talk to you about another female, then chilling with them a few days later.
Right. I mean, that ain't a red flag. That's obvious. That ain't no flag. If he doing that, then come on, what kind of dude is you really messing with? We're talking about signs. If somebody obviously is playing you, like, come on now, then you need to get away from that situation. Now, if you decide to keep messing with them, then that's on you. You know what kind of person that you're dealing with.
Yeah,
at that point, that's why I'm like, when people be with guys and they be like, "Oh, yeah, he ain't nothing." I'm like, "No, you knew exactly who he was the whole time, but but now you just decided not to deal with that." And that's beyond. That's a actual, like, come on now, that's not a flag. That's just who the person is. Period. We want to talk about things that people do that actually could be a sign of what's to come that might damage your relationship. But I mean, that's just, he ain't shit.
He ain't shit. Okay.
Right. Exactly. And that was one of the topics I was going to say too, is like somebody that talks bad about their previous relationship and they take no accountability to why they broke up. You got to watch that, because people, like, I'm telling you, they don't never think they do anything wrong. And like I said, before I actually, went through my self-reflection, I had to own up to all the bullshit that was happening, that I was doing, before I could actually change those habits and I could become a better person. Because, if you don't own up to what you're doing, then you're not going to change. So yeah, if somebody just talking bad about their ex, but don't say what they did to contribute to that, then they're going to keep doing it and they're going to keep messing up relationships going forward. So yeah, you definitely got to watch that. That's a good one right there.
All right. Another flag for me. Someone said, "Okay, I finally made my way into the chat. Hey, Lala, she was the one on Facebook, so she got stuff to say."
Okay, that's what's happening. All right, and I was shout out to Slim Goody, because she's been on here every week. And she's been participating in everything. And I just want to shout out to Slim Goody. She's a good person. She always came out and supported my movies and bought my movies and stuff like that. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Slim's Goody. Another a sign for me is, are they jealous of the time you spent? He only doing that because he wants some draws. That is true. Are they jealous of your family and your friendship and your family ties? Like, are they jealous of the time you spend with your family? Are they always trying to get you to not hang out with your friends? And there is an understanding that once you get into a relationship, you are going to have to pour time into your relationship. So you're not going to see your friends as much. You won't, if you spend time over your friend's house every single day, you got to take that time back and spend it with your dude. Understandable. But when they're really actively trying to make it so that you don't have any friends, you don't see your friends as much, you don't see your families as much, that's a flag to me. Especially if they don't have friends and they're not good with their family. That's a flag. Because it goes to show that they're trying to control a narrative and they're trying to separate you so that you only have to rely on them. And there should be that interdependence in that relationship. You should have that. But you don't need to deviate from your friends and your family in order to have the independence. You weave that in so that it's a seamless transaction. And at first it's going to be bumpy, but if that's all he's about, you can't hang out, you can't do this. It seems a little controlling. It screams a little controlling to me.
Right. Absolutely. And that's one thing. And I tell this to my daughter and everything. Like, look, it's important that you meet the family so you can know the family dynamics in dealing with this person. You should always get the backstory on anybody just to see what made them who they are, what makes them tick. Sometimes people are in relationships and they ain't never met the family. And like I said, this is one of the things that I did. Like I said, when I was married and I was still out here cheating, I would create a scenario where, like I said, we kicking it, we having a good time and all that, but you ain't gonna meet my mom or nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like we was like, we was just go kick it and have a good time. And if that's all you're doing is having a good time and all that, I mean, it might be good for temporary pleasure and all that. But if you're talking about a long-term relationship, make sure you meet their parents and, meet their family and see what's going on with them. Because like I said, if this is a person that you're going to be with and potentially be a marriage person, then these are the people that you're going to have to deal with in the future. And if he's hiding something, you're going to see that. If he ain't bringing you in front of his parents, in front of his family and everything, he's hiding something. Trust me. So,
oh my god, yeah, you gotta make sure.
yeah, so
My dad.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say make sure you meet they, especially their mom, you know, and if their dad is there, meet their dad, and just to see what type of relationship they have, because that's very important.
My dad told me like there was a time where you used to vet people's family. Like you have a vetting process. People don't vet people anymore. They're just like, I like you, you're hot, the sex is great. We haven't argued yet. Let's get together. Let's get married. And it's like you need to vet people. And a part of the vetting process is their family. You know, there's some guys where I've hung out with them and then we've hung around their families, and I was like, oh no. Nah, it's a strong no for me because your mom is too much in my business. You a mama's boy. I can't do it. So that's good for somebody else. That's good for somebody else. It's not good for me because I need to know that once you get married, you're supposed to release from your parents and you're supposed to cling over to your new wife. I can't have your mom in here talk about my baby don't like his greens like that. No, ma'am, he married me. That's how he gonna get these greens. He should have vetted me properly.
Right, that's true. That's true. Like I said, I mean, listen, we just, like I said, going forward, I mean, you know, and that's what carries us on to like the next topic. Like, you know, if somebody is a liar or embellisher, sometimes you won't know that until you meet their family. Because I met different people that they just embellish, like, you know, like they say all the great things that they've achieved, and they this person and that person. You know what I'm saying? There's one lady that I talked to, she was talking about, yeah, we got land in the Virgin Islands and this and that or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. That just sound like, you know. And then when I met her mom, like, you know, my mom stay in the hood. Y'all ain't got no property. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got no Virgin Islands money.
You ain't got no property like that. I mean, just stop playing. You know, but people that embellish things, you got to watch them because they're very deceitful. And you know, they can just lie about anything. If you're a liar, to me, that's a big red flag, and that's definitely a deal breaker for me. You know, if somebody's lying, then I mean, where can we really go from there? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, these are the things that I used to put up with before I actually was looking for a serious relationship. I would identify people's flaws, but I would put up with it because I wanted something from them. You know what I'm saying? It was just, you know, I didn't care. Okay, I know you lying. You ain't got no island, but, you know, we're going to kick it tonight, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I had an agenda. You know what I'm saying? I had an agenda. So, yeah. I mean, but like, exactly. So, you know, other little things, you know, you might have a couple roaches or whatever, you know, I still, it didn't matter at that point because, you know, I was on some dirty stuff. So, but yeah, stuff like that.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with roaches? A couple roaches. Some people have a rough time in life. I mean, I don't have roaches now.
Okay, this is the thing about roaches. If you got roaches, it's like if you're not actively trying to get rid of them, then that's a problem. I'm not going to be satisfied, you know, because remember, when you're dating, this is a dress rehearsal to how the relationship is going to be. So if you're satisfied with having roaches in your house, then this is how you're going to be. This is how we're going to be living if we together. You know, you got to look at this. I'm telling you, all this dating and all this stuff, this is a dress rehearsal to how this person is going to be if you're there for, you know, a more long-term stint with this person. So, yeah, no, If your house is unclean or, you know, the way you run your stuff, if you don't know how to manage yourself and things like that, then those are things that I can't deal with because I'm more organized and I try to take care of my business and whatnot. And, you know, if you can't even manage yourself, you know, then that's, you know, when I leave the crib, then things are going to go bad. And I've had somebody like that too. Every time I left the crib, when I came back, everything was in disarray. And no, we're not doing that. I just, and then after a while, she was a very fine woman, but by her being unorganized and dingy, it was a turnoff for me. She no longer became a sexual object for me anymore because her mindset, I couldn't get with that. I didn't even want to have sex with her or not no more. So, you know, after she realized she wasn't getting any more sex and she was just chipping in on the rent, she left.
Wait, she was living in your spot?
Yeah, she moved in, yeah. But so, like I said, I didn't know how, you know, it took me a while to see how she was in disarray for me, because like I said, the only way you can really know somebody is to work with them or to live with them. Because before I come through, you can straighten up your living room real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or whatever. And you don't know exactly how this person is. Or like I said, when you work with somebody, like when we do different projects, like when somebody comes up, you can tell if they come to the scene late, or how their work ethic is, or if they get the job, you could tell how they work, or if they're consistent and things like that. But that's the only way you can really know someone, is to live with them or to work with them.
That is fair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying that's fair. Someone says roaches. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say, Lala. If you live in a hood apartment, roaches, like, you can't get rid of roaches if your neighbors don't get rid of roaches.
That's true.
Right.
I'm just saying, if you got roaches and you're not actively trying to get rid of them, then that's the
word was active.
The finest restaurants have gotten roaches, but they bring people out to exterminate and things like that. You can't really help not getting them. They could come anywhere. Somebody coming to your crib, they could come in their clothes or the purses or whatever the case may be. So that's that just don't be satisfied with them. Don't be having them walk around and you ain't saying nothing. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing if you're not gonna say nothing. I had to say, I lived in the hood for a hot second. This is I don't do no hood activity. It was like I dated a guy who didn't mind living in the hood. We lived together. We broke up. I was left in the hood. But I actively bombed. I used the chalk, the little spray. Like, I was actively trying. Kevin Stringer has so much to say. Say it, baby. Just say it. And we were sitting there, we were talking, and he was looking at me. And I was like going through this breakup. And as he was talking to me, he was making me laugh. There was this big ass roach that was just walking right up the wall behind him. And I was like, oh my God. If he sees this, it's a rat. So every time he would try to touch, he's like, no, look this way at me. That's me. Look here. But I was actively trying to get rid of them though. And unfortunately, I lived in a hood and other people have roaches. So no matter how hard but the key is active. I heard active. Okay. All right. That's good. I'm done. All right. Active.
Okay. So now, like I said, with this with this day and age, since we have so much technology, this is one that I really pay attention to as well. And this could be a red flag also. Now, when you look on somebody's Facebook or Instagram page and they busted down every pic they got, they showing their butt, or they just flexing their crouch area all the time or whatever, that's a big red flag for me, because you're showing your worth is in your body, and that's it. I can see you taking cute pictures, but you showing your butt and your skin every picture, then that's a problem for me, because you for the streets. That's how I look at it. You don't have no class. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not displaying class. Let's say that. Some people got incredible bodies, but I don't want to be seeing it. If this is somebody I want to be in a relationship with, I don't want to see that. That's just all you're doing is you're advertising and you're making people want to have sex with you. That's because that's what it is. And it's a natural thing, not to say that, I mean, everybody's not, I mean, you see a female's body that's sexy, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, man, look at that, whatever. I mean, that just throws your mind a little bit. And a lot of that is a manipulation tool that people use. And that's why they get their bodies done, because they want, that's a empowering thing to manipulate men with your body. That's why I don't, that turns me off. Like I said, since I've been a former hoe, when I see hoes now, I'm offended by it. You know what I'm saying? Because
you can look down on people like, ew,
right, because this is where I used to be. You know what I'm saying? And this is what caused most of the drama in my life is, you're just feeding into your lower desires, and it's causing your judgment to not be right. So when I see this type of behavior, it's a turnoff for me.
No, I feel you. I think that how you present yourself in your pictures on Instagram is important. And in the inverse for women, do you got your middle fingers up as a dude? Is your pants sagging as a man? Are you always looking busted? Like you never have yourself, cleaned up. Your hair is all weird. And are you always flashing money and guns in your videos? So, I mean, I that's the opposite, because, guys don't show their cakes like us. But those would be the things that I measure a man's profile, your profile picture. Do you have pictures with tons of chicks in your pictures all the time? Like, and these are never the same. And these are not family member chicks. These are just always random chicks that you have pictures with. And I'm not saying that as a single man, you can't, you know, and when you're single, you do whatever. But it unfortunately, like you said, because she could be a very classy woman off of Facebook. She could be the most classiest chick you've ever met. But that was it. First, what's that word that you say? First impressions. You know, when you meet people offline, you're looking at that Facebook page. That is their first impression of what you're seeing. So I get it. I use that to judge people too, Chuck. I'm a judge individual.
But remember, y'all, everybody, you know, y'all can chime in on this too. I mean, it and all of these flags are based upon where you at in your life and what you're looking for.
That's true.
If you're just looking to have a good time and you just want to kick it, then yeah, I mean, people like women be posting men with bodies on their stuff and stuff like that because they're turned on by it, because that's where they are in life. You know, they're not looking for a relationship. They want to just have somebody with a nice body that could give them sex. And with guys too, they just want, you know, some freak. They got a body that they can have sex with. So this is all contingent upon where you are in your life and what you're looking for. Because like I said, before, you know, I used to probe for weakness. I was out here looking actively for somebody that, you know, that I could manipulate and I could have my way with them. And, you know, when you see things like this or kind of read their profile and whatever, then you can actually see what type of person that you're dealing with. But like I said, that's not where my space is right now. But if you out here, you just want to have fun. And that's what I see with a lot of, like, when women especially get older, and guys, you looking for like younger, a lot of these older women, they look for younger guys who they can manipulate. It's like a power thing. So that when you can manipulate somebody, then there's less likely that they can hurt you, because you know all their moves before they even do it. That's why, like, you know, talking to a younger woman, you know, she don't have the same experience that I have. And I could, you know, like I said, I can run all type of games with her. She believes stuff that I tell her. Right. She believes stuff that I tell her. You know, we can kick it. I can do things. I can say, look, don't invade my space on certain areas, and she'll go for it. And the same thing with younger men. A younger man is like a dingy woman. They don't understand the games that women will play on them. And, you know, and they can get game ran on them all the time. And the thing that people do, like that I've seen when I was a younger man, that changed the game for me. When I started talking to older women, of course, they didn't believe everything that I was saying. And then they would use sex as a weapon. And they might give me some and it was good. And then they would hold back. And I'll be like, Dad, I can't get none tonight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But they was using me as a toy boy. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's a way, you know, that people can manipulate and things like that. So yeah, I think that's why, you know, a lot of older people talk to younger people, because there's less of a threat to them. You know, as the older man, you know, if a woman holds out on me, I don't care. I didn't want to hit it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you make the first move. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not pressed like that. Like with these young guys, and young women, they can be manipulated with some Scooby snacks, like, you know, a couple dollars here, let's go on a trip here, and they'll be excited about it. But as you get older, things like that aren't as important as they were when you were younger. So yeah, so you know, that's why people you know, mess with younger with younger folks.
I can't do it, man. I got younger dudes knocking on my door right now, and it's like no, it's a solid no. I call it, you are letting your little head think for your big beard. I'm thinking head, big head.
Big head. Yeah, I'm sure they be big head, right?
Big head. Yeah, but they do. That's why they marry the hot chick, and then 10 years later, they're like, I made a mistake. Right. A flag for me, another one for me, is communication. The inability to talk things out. Just in the talking stage, in the dating stage, I'm a person where before we even go out to dinner, some guys are just like, oh, let's meet up tonight. Whoa, nah, homie. Or even just let's meet up tomorrow. Whoa, wait, like you don't even know if you like me. You haven't even asked me anything about myself. And this is the thing that trips me out. Guys will complain that women are gold diggers. But every guy I've met are always trying to take me out right away, like that next day. And they don't ask me anything about myself. They don't ask if I'm a serial killer. They don't ask me what type of food, nothing. Let's go out. But I like to...
Online?
Online.
These are online people?
Both. No.
Oh, okay.
When you just cold, you cold. What can I say? No, just like, right. When you just bad. No, I'm just like, but for me, before I go out to dinner with someone, because everybody, you like to go out to eat, but I don't like to waste my time. And I
Yeah.
really like I've cultivated a life that I really enjoy. So if I fuck with you, that means that I enjoy talking to you. The meal is not worth it enough for me to go out on a date with a guy who I don't like talking to. So that's just one part of communication. But during those conversations, which a lot of people omit, like you said, men will tell on themselves and they'll try not to talk enough so you can't pick up certain stuff. But we need to have conversations. We need to ask important stuff. Stop asking things like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite position? Ask real questions. You'll find out real answers. And then also, if you get into disagreements, if they don't want to talk about those disagreements or figure out how to come to a resolution that's beneficial to you both, those are flags. So if that's not happening when you're in the dating stage, marriage is not going to make it any better. And I've had friends who they complain about their husbands don't really like to talk to them, and they can't talk out these issues. And I'm like, well, did something change? I'm like, no, he was like that before marriage. Well, did you think he was gonna change? Like it was gonna be the same. It was gonna be exactly the same. So that communication is big to me. That's how you sustain a relationship. One of the ways, communication.
Oh yeah, I would say out of everything in a relationship, I mean, communication is probably it's got to be like the top three. Because if you don't really know what the other person is feeling or what they need, or then you can't really, how do you proceed going forward? And that's one thing that I could say that me and my wife have. We have like A1 communication, and it could be like hurtful at first. Like somebody might just be blatantly honest with you, and you might feel a certain way at first, but then at the end of the day, but that's how they feel. And then, so you have to act accordingly. Just like, I'm just give you an example. Like when we was looking for houses and stuff like that, we were staying in an apartment at first, and man, I was ready to go. So when we was looking at like places, like the first couple little places that I seen, I was like, oh, this is cool, right here. I'm ready to sign the contract. But she was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like she was just like a hard no, like, because she wanted certain things about the house that she needed, you know what I'm saying, for, just to her be able to function how she would normally. But I was just like, look, this is better than where we're at. I'm ready to go. Like, let's do it. But after we came together, and then I had to void a couple of her places, that she wanted. And, then we finally came together, and we found the perfect place for that we both wanted. Now, if she would have went ahead and not said anything, then, we would have been stuck at that place, and it wouldn't have been the place that we really wanted. You know what I'm saying? We were just doing it because I was just trying to move so fast. But by her being honest about that and communicating, then, then everything is cool. And just about anything. Like, if you could just communicate and your partner knows what you want, then, then it's easier to satisfy that. So, that's something that is major, man. Communication is top dog. So if somebody ain't talking, they either hiding something or they're like closed off and they don't want to tell you the things that you may need, and you're just sitting there guessing. And that's not a good spot to be in, because that's, like, again, you can waste your time when you're sitting up there guessing and thinking, that you know what they want or whatever the case may be, when it may not be that. So yeah, if they don't communicate, that's a big red flag. And remember, everybody, again, these are things that it depends on what type of personality you have, what you're looking for in life, and things like that. Because somebody that don't speak might be good for you. You might you might just like to come home and you don't want to even say nothing to your husband. You want to go in there, you want to get online and do whatever without anybody saying anything. So these are different things for different personality traits, that you need to look out for. And I want to go to the next one. Like, and this may, like I said, this may be for some people, it may not be for some people. Somebody that has overly controlling behavior. And somebody that's real controlling. Now remember, it depends on your personality type. I've seen these dynamics where it works sometimes, where you have somebody that's real soft spoken, that needs somebody else to take charge. But if you're a regular person that you can manage yourself and stuff, then you may not need that. But some people come in and they're real controlling and they want everything their way, and that sometimes could be a selfish move, because, you know, you're not factoring in, you know, what the other person has. And that, you know, and that's not good. The relationship, when you're in a relationship, is about two people. It's not just about the one person. So you have to consider that person's feelings, or, you know, or even just, you know, just their situation, if you care about them, you know, when you make moves. So yeah, so this type of thing, like I said, some women like that though, you know, like some people, some women, some men like that too. They, you know, they might need it, you know, like, you know, getting your credit score together, things like that, or whatever. You know, some people might, for real, some people might need it. Just depends who they are. It may not be you, Champagne, but some people,
it's definitely not me.
Right. But some people don't have their stuff together. And if they get with somebody, you know, then that has their stuff together, then, you know, they can help them become a better person by being controlling in certain areas. That's all I'm saying.
You know, yeah, that is for somebody, Chuck. I agree with you. That is for somebody. It is not for, and that's a red flag for me. And usually the controlling people, one thing I love about my parents, they give me, you know, they give you the game. They give you the game. And because some controlling people you won't know until you get into a relationship. But you just gotta kind of pay attention to certain things, like the small things. And if they're really losing their shit about the small things, it's a flag. It's a flag. But yeah, that's not for me. Okay. Another flag for me is a lack of trust. Trust is important, and I feel like if you marry someone, you're going to have to live off of trust. You know, you're going to have to trust that this person actually went to work when they said they went to work, that this person was actually on the phone with who they said they were on their phone, and that you're not sitting there checking them and well you're lying and causing a lot of issues. And if you don't trust somebody, in my opinion, you shouldn't be in a relationship with them. I can't see how you even get that far to marriage. If you couldn't trust them in the boyfriend-girlfriend stage, how are we trusting them in marriage? How are we even here? The lack of trust can cause so many issues elsewhere, you know, that can move into communication. You're not listening to each other. That could be a situation of maybe that person is doing some suspect stuff. You ever hear how cheaters cheat, but they always accuse the other person of doing some stuff? You probably been there. You know what I'm talking about.
But see, now with this lack of trust thing, now let me just speak on this for a minute.
Oh,
now remember, whenever you come into a relationship and you're meeting somebody new, the trust thing happens. I don't just automatically just trust somebody that I just met or I'm trying to get to know. I have to see by their actions. Now, by the way you act or the way you gaslight things can actually cause a distrust in the relationship. You know, if you don't answer your phone, you know, when I call most of the times, or if you over there sneaking, you know, you texting it on the side and things like that, you always putting your phone down and not showing your screen. You know, these are things that can cause a lack of trust. Like I said, for me, trust has to be earned. And like when you start acting all like that, and then your behavior just shows that, you know, that there's something going on, then this thing can flare up. And like I said, and when you say certain things, and when I say gaslighting, like if you're in a relationship, like just like I was talking to this girl from Florida. Remember, I talked to a lot of people. I'm just telling you. But anyway, I talked to this girl from Florida, and like she had asked me something before she went somewhere. And she was like, "Yeah, can you do this?" Whatever. So I got busy, and I was doing something or whatever. And so by the time she got back, you know what I'm saying? She was like, "I asked you to do this before I left. When I was talking to the Jamaican guy, I could just say it one time and it's done." You know, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you sound like you need to be with a Jamaican guy."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I forgot. Okay. So, you know, people, that's the way that people gaslight certain situations. So, you know, when you're talking all this, like how somebody was so great and this, that, then why ain't you with them? You see what I'm saying?
We wouldn't be together at that point. Like these are things that you suss out before you even get into a relationship.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but we weren't in, like I said, we weren't in a relationship, but we were headed towards that way. But when she said that, I'm like, nah, man. Yeah, we don't do that. I you know, I didn't care, you know, at that point. Like, you know, I'm not going to sit up here and try to be compared to somebody else. You know, I'm who I am. I didn't get to, I forgot. I was busy. So I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to it when I get to it. Plain and simple.
And that's where that base of trust comes through. Like you feel like they have to build up trust. I give you a base trust. And some people, you know, they're like, I don't know. So the base trust is I can't bring in what happened to me in previous relationships into this new relationship, right?
Right.
I shouldn't, right? But I can't be stupid either. So it's a balance. Exactly. So I'm gonna give you a base trust until you show me otherwise, right? But when I say lack of honesty, there was a guy who we were talking, and at the time, I'm a bartender, so my schedule changes. My schedule will fluctuate. I have no consistent schedule. And then when I'm at work, I can't really text because I have to serve people nonstop. Like I'm on my feet 8 hours. I can't stop. So this guy was used to me texting him regularly, just used to me regularly. And on this one day, it was a very busy day. I couldn't really text. Boom, boom, boom. He texted me at like 2:00. Couldn't really text. Boom, boom, boom. So by the time I got off, it was like 10, 11 o'clock. All right. I text him back. And it became, wow, what were you doing? I guess you was with another nigga, huh? You was out here with another nigga. Like I was working. So that was the last time we talked because, again, it was reasonable. I work as a bartender. If you know bartenders, and some people don't trust bartenders. I ain't got nothing to do with me. But that to me is a lack of trust. So if you're popping off like that, and I've not shown you otherwise that I really, that I'm not to be trusted, why are we at this point? So that to me is when I say a lack of trust right there. I'm not talking about where you hide in your phone. Like, yeah, that makes you trustworthy. But some people go into the relationship are already not trusting people. So they're going to look for every single sign to show that they're not trusting. And it might not be that I'm not trusting. It just could be that we operate differently just because of our viewpoints. That's where communication comes in. Hey, what happened to you today? Boom, this is what happened to me today. Okay, file that shit away and check it again for another day.
Right.
But that's just how I am.
Right, I feel you. But like I said, as we know, as we get older, we go through things, and we've been through people were honest and things like that. So when you're in a new relationship, if you see signs of that, then like I said, that's when the distrust could come in. That's why, like you said, with the communication is very important. And I mean, we got to just make sure that the person knows that, hey, I'm not going to do anything. Like this is just what I'm doing. If you would have told the guy from the beginning, like, look, when I'm at work, I ain't gonna be to talk to you. I think maybe he would have took it a little bit better. But if you just you was talking to him all week, and then y'all was good, you was accessible to him, and then all of a sudden you cut communication, then you changed up on him. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, not to say that he should say that you cheated, but I'm just saying, if you all of a sudden, and I know you, Champagne, your communication is trash. All right, I'm just letting everybody.
Your communication is terrible. You're not my man. I don't have to communicate.
No, all I'm saying is this. So listen, like I be trying to sometimes. Remember, we talked about this. I was like, I'll text you, and then I ain't gonna hear from you for like 4 days. Like,
let me tell you why.
4 days straight. Stop playing.
Let me tell you guys, because Chuck is about to assassinate my character. And I will not let this go down. What happens is I work as a bartender, so that means I have to go in at 2. I don't get done until 11 o'clock.
Hold on, your microphone. Your microphone.
Can you hear me?
Right.
Oh. Can you hear me? Hello?
You sound like.
Oh! It's happening again. Hold on. Let me pull this out.
Yeah, pull it out, put it back in. But anyway, as she's doing that, make sure you make sure you communicate and you make the person feel safe. You should be the safe space for that person. The person should never have to second guess, if you might be, disloyal to them or whatever the case may be. Like I said, the way you move makes a big, big difference, like in how people receive you. So, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, this trust thing, like this, like the way you move is a big thing in it. Are you back?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're perfect. Good. There you go.
Okay. First of all,
But go
and then
ahead.
when I get the text, all right, it's after 11 o'clock. Chuck is a married man. I don't text married men past 9 o'clock.
Really?
I
Well,
don't.
for one, wait a minute. For one, I'm 3 hours behind you. So
I
if,
ain't worried
if it's
about that.
11 there, it's only 8
I
here.
just work for 8 to 10 hours. I ain't got time to do math.
Listen, all I'm saying is your communication is trash. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
If he was my man, it'd be different.
No.
Yes.
People are creatures of habit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, if I was trying to get to know you, now I've known you for over 10 years, so I'm like, well, that's just champagne. But if I was trying to get in a relationship and I'm just meeting you and I text you and like you don't hit me back for 3 or 4 days, and then again, you think things, well, okay, well, she ain't hit me back, so let me move on.
In that scenario, yes. In my scenario, that's not what happened. But go on, King. Where time is ticking.
Okay. Okay. Now, another thing too is anger management, like how people how they deal with controversy. Sometimes that's just life. Sometimes in life things just don't go your way, and we just have to be able to deal with overcoming difficulty. And sometimes people can't accept that, and they they'll get mad and and they'll flex and do certain things. I've seen that. I've seen people they get mad at people, and you could just see them flare up and stuff like that, and they don't know how to control their emotions. And especially women, you got to watch out for an emotional young man, especially because he's dangerous. Because like I said, y'all play these little these little games with sex and stuff like that, and y'all have some little young man wide open, and I'm telling you, these young dudes, they ain't built for it, man. When I was young, when that first thing happened to me, I was a good thing I had my dad that he could coach me. I could ask him like, man, why is she playing games, Dad? And what I'm saying, he would just tell me and break it down for him. I was like, oh, okay, you're right. And but these young guys here, like you play games or you give them some, and then they see you out at the club freaking on somebody. Yeah, you better watch yourself. I'm telling you, y'all playing these games.
But it's not even just sex. I'm trying. I liken to, does the anger match the crime? I was dating a guy.
Okay.
And we were going, and this was God. God was like champagne. I said, fuck this nigga, but you still want to date him. But we were trying to get this apartment together. And this is why I don't date men who go to prison. We were trying to get this apartment together. And I like to live in uppity areas because I'm bougie. So they do a background check. So I knew what he went to prison for. He told me what he went to prison for. So I told him, like, hey, I'm trying to live in this apartment. He's like, yeah, cool, it's fine. And I told him they were going to pull a background check. Should there be anything that I should be aware of? Oh, you already know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we go, put in the report, background check. It's like a litany of offenses all the way down here, right? And so I call him, I'm like, babe, like that. I don't think it's you. I think they got your dad and you confused. Can you confirm? And she's like, yeah, he got this. There was assault, battery, kidnapping, blah, blah, blah. Like it was a lot. And I'm like, no, because he know I was coming. He would have told me. So we went back to the house. He cussed me clean out. He felt like I embarrassed him. It was bad. But I had to leave. The anger does not fit the crime. How you mad because you went to prison and all your stuff came out?
Yeah, he should have told you. He was lying to you. So I mean, I can't defend him on that one. If he didn't tell you, like I told you, people can change. But like I said, if you starting off the relationship on a bad, like I tell you about the lying, lying about stuff, eventually you ain't gonna be able to remember all your lies. It's gonna come back to bite you. So start off the relationship on a good note. And just tell the truth. Like I said, we all have a past. Like I said, I got a past too. I told my wife about all the cheating that I did before and this and that. And I told her that, look, that's not me no more. And she accepted me and she got her a good dude. And like I told you before, there was people like in the past that I had talked to and I was telling them like, look, that might have been wifey material, but they didn't believe me. So, but sometimes people do change, man. But you got to start off the relationship with honesty so that you can build upon truth and commitment. If not, then it's already a bad foundation from the beginning. So yeah, everybody. I mean, we couldn't get through everything today, but you know, but you know, we did get through a lot of things.
Chuck, what you got coming up? What you plugging?
Everybody, please, those that have survived to the end, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because like I said, we bring you, I'll break stories down for you. I haven't been able to do it for the last week because I was out of town, but we back on track now. So make sure y'all like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so we can keep building, because we'll be here every week at the same time. And we're going to talk about different events. Next week, we're going to have a real juicy one. And I'll post that. We're going to have a super juicy one next week, y'all. So make sure y'all stay tuned in. And let's keep going. What you got, Champagne?
Check me out at 9:00. I go live on YouTube at Better Be Me. We're talking about the little pink pill. We talked about Risa Pisa. Is she lying about her scenario? Is she, right? If you don't know, she did Who the Fuck Did I Marry? She got all these monies and everything, but was she telling the truth? We'll go live at 9:00. Check me out.
All right. So, okay, y'all. Until next week, same place, same time. Y'all enjoy yourself, and let's be honest, and let's just get through this. Let's start. Let's build things together, and let's be happy. Peace.
Yes. Bye.